you want to leave in the middle, huh? Nah, you're going to have to watch the show to catch this act. Hello. You know what? This is me. Actually, I put myself on today, y'all. Y'all need to congratulate me. I'm going to give myself a shout out. Yeah, boy. Well, y'all know, welcome to me, gente, my people, y'all. This is your hostess with the mostest, Miss Claudia CC Perez. We have our boy Rock Logic here as our special guest today. I think do we want to turn his mic on yet? Let's see if we hear you. I don't know why we don't hear you.
There you go.
Oh. Ooh. See?
Yeah, I'm on the other side of the mic today.
Yeah, see? Women boss moves.
Come on now.
Look at it.
You graduated today.
Well, since you're here, Mr. Logic,
Yes.
you know, I'm going to interview you because, you know, you got some things on the table. You've been doing a lot of moving and shaking. And you know what? You're very entrenched in the NYCHA community, and I want to say that. But before we have embraced you in that capacity, like, what's up with your award, Mr. Rock Logic?
You got me. All right. So I got a really dope award for I got a citation for my contribution to the communities, especially when it comes to hip hop.
Wait, they can't see you.
Oh, you want to switch the camera? Oh, we didn't set that up. We didn't set the other camera up. You want me to set the other camera
I'm
up
going to do something. Look, I'm going to figure it out.
No, I'm still not there.
Oh.
You gotta turn the other camera on. The other camera's not on.
Okay.
That's not, but it's okay. I'm hanging out. But yeah, I got a citation for my contribution to being a pioneer in hip hop, and
Pioneer, y'all. Pioneer.
You know what I'm saying? For the things I did at Jazzy J's recording studio, and a bunch of other cool stuff. So. It was dope. I got the citation from the Bronx Borough President Robin Diaz Jr.
Ruben Diaz Jr.
Yeah, from Ruben. You know what I'm saying? So it was dope. I was touched. You know what I'm saying? Because I finally got acknowledged for the work that I did. You know, working on albums like, you know, the Brand Nubians and Fat Joe and Showbiz and AG.
Name dropping. Look.
Method Man, Redman. Method Man, the one above that. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
So, for MOP, the work I did with MOP, Shock G from Digital Underground, God Bless the Dead, and a host of other people, you know what I'm saying, Jay-Z and...
See, I knew it was something special when I met you. I definitely do. You got to understand because, you know, and what you do and bringing, like, forth what we're doing right now on this forefront, I think we need to champion you. We need a song.
Yeah, we need a song.
We need a song. And you know, I've been wanting to get down on something, so I think this is a challenge.
Yeah, I think it's something we should do.
We're gonna do it. You wanna do it?
Yeah, I think it'd be dope. I would love that. Come on, we doing
Oh, look, Cynthia telling me start the show already.
We here.
We
She's like,
here.
we here.
I love you, Cyn. Come on, let me have some fun today. I'm actually actually hosting and controlling the boards.
Yeah, it was time for. I was like, you know what? I called Claudia yesterday, and I was like, listen, girl, it's time for you to graduate. You got to fly solo.
Yeah.
You need to learn how to do this thing so you can run your own show. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
this is your first flight, and you're doing well, by the way.
Thank you.
You know.
So yes, we here in the NYCHA community. Welcome, welcome, y'all. Cynthia, I know that you out there. Thank you for always tuning in. And basically, there's a lot going on. I don't know if y'all heard, but we having a little problem with that infrastructure bill because it went from 3.5 trillion to now they're talking 1.9 trillion. And then remember, the first one got cut dramatically, and we were not included in that infrastructure bill. We definitely were not included in that bill. So, that's me working out the boards, trying to figure it out, guys. So bear with me today. But yeah, I mean, it's really crazy. It's really crazy. I just don't know what to say, but I'm highly disappointed. I'm very, very disappointed, but I'm not surprised. I don't know if y'all understand or can relate to that. It's a lot going on in our communities that we're dependent upon that money coming to us. That's a matter of if we're going to be able to keep public housing as it is under Section 9, or if we all get privatized and thrown by the way. And me, for one, I want to know that, there's something affordable. And another thing that we don't look into that we should be looking at is the Faircloth Agreement. Now, the Faircloth Agreement is also in the Ocasio bill that she has out there on the table. And basically what the Faircloth Agreement is that they will be building no more public housing. So when they say affordable housing, it's going to be affordable for who? Because if you can't build any more public housing, and public housing is the substance of housing that is not for profit. Public housing is the not-for-profit housing of the housing system. So that's why it's the most unpopular housing system within these United States, because it's not for profit. And that's why we are going in the direction that we're going into. So I just need y'all to understand, we need to hit Albany. Elections are coming. Y'all really need to look at who you're going to elect for your new mayor, for your new district attorney. I believe in Queens and Manhattan. So you have to hit the polls, because if you don't hit the polls, the people who are selling us out will continue to do so, and we won't be able to stop them. So we have to be solution driven. And that brings me upon something I need to say to people. We need to take consideration of how we act and how our actions affect people. Point an example, there's a situation going on in my development that multiple residents are affected by. And I had a resident approach me like she didn't know me. Like I was just somebody off the street. I was surprised, but I also, didn't take it personal, because she wanted an answer to her situation, and she wanted a answer that she could relate to, something that would solve her problem right away. And I had to explain to her that's not how this process works. And on top of it, just because you see a president doesn't mean that I'm able, or anyone is able, to do what you need them to do right then and there at that moment. It just so happened that the moment that she stopped me, I was on my way to pick my daughter up from school. And if I had stayed there 2 minutes longer, I'd have been late in picking her up. So unfortunately, I couldn't stay, but I do plan on following back around to her thing. But my point in saying this is I made sure that I did not take what she was going through and how she was spewing it personal. This is a very tiresome job, and you cannot take what people do, say, personal. And even though you try not to, it does weigh hard. So I just want y'all to make a conscious effort just to be a lot more nicer. I'm going to just say be nice. Be nice. Be nice to one another. We are all going through the same situation. Presidents have no more resources than anybody else. We are here to assist you. And really, when you talk about TAs are not there just to fix people's apartments or issues in their apartments. If you have a resident board that do help with those situations, you should feel grateful that you have someone or a board of people who are working with you to solve your issues and find solutions, because that's not part of our job description. Basically, if you give a ticket number and we give it to NYCHA to escalate it, that's as far as it goes. We do not work for NYCHA. We do not control how NYCHA brings because it's just a crazy system. You got to look at it. Point an example. They came in and they changed all the shower bodies. Once you change a shower body, you knew that you broke into the wall. So why wouldn't you have a plasterer, a plumber, and a carpenter if necessary? If necessary. Because if you know that if you break a wall, you got to fix that wall again. So why does it take so long for you to get different trades to come in to address one situation? So what happens is this situation that's going on in my development now is causing a rodent problem. So guess what? Not that you should put in a ticket now so that they can come and finish the work that they're doing in your apartment. Now you have to put in an extermination ticket. Otherwise, guess what? If your ticket has gone to trades, you can continuously call that 718 number for them to address it, and they will continuously send the maintenance guy to your apartment to take a picture to assess the problem. That's the disconnect in between what's happening with your tickets and what's happening with the work. Because at the end of the day, again, like I said, if you have somebody who's coming to do work in your apartment, you should already have appointments made with the following trades that's going to complete the job in its entirety. And this brings us around to the situation of what we're talking about with these contractors in which we hire under NYCHA to come on our property to do the shabby work that they do. Now, everybody says we get the lowest. We always have to take the lowest bids. This is what NYCHA tells you. They always have to take the lowest bids. Then they have to do. I'm looking at the boards a little bit, y'all. Yeah, Cynthia is saying today is the first day of early voting. I'm all over the place. November 3rd, that's my November 2nd, you should be voting, John. It's not the 3rd, my love. Yes, we do not work for NYCHA, and we don't get paid under the table. But Cynthia, guess what I found out, right? I found out under the RAD PAC conversions, because I happened to ask a question about the TPA funding and the annual funding that HUD gives on an annual basis that goes in that direction. And what I was told was under the RAD and PAC conversions, the people that are there that took it over, they get $50,000 per development that they take over. So they don't just get it allotted towards like we do. with the TPA funding, it starts off with as $25, and by the time it trickles down, you're down to $7 or $5 per occupied unit. They get $50,000. So that's something we need to look into. Seeing like why are they getting such that large sum, and where is that going to? Who it's coming from, where it's going to. That's something we definitely need to look into, because I know that was brought up at one of the meetings that I was into, talking about that. We also have, I don't know if you guys know, but we have a memorandum of agreement. And this is, everybody should be listening to this. Everybody who is going through elections right now, according to HUD, all of the bylaws are in breach, meaning they're no good. And they're saying that they're waiting for HUD told them they have to redo the bylaws. So they're waiting for a blanket bylaws to come out so that everybody could sign it. But you're forcing people to have elections under the old bylaws, which you find are illegal. So again, here it is. NYCHA is bullying and going around their own rules and regulations that they're supposed to be following to get done what they need to get done. And not to say, because me personally, I want my election to happen. Let's come get it over with. You understand what I'm saying? I'm upstairs watching. Ooh. But yeah, Rock Logic is stepping out on me. I'm really here by myself, y'all. But I'm going to keep the conversation going. Yes, like I was telling you, NYCHA is consistently disobeys rules, regulations, laws, and there's no repercussion behind it. Because the reasoning behind this is because we need to get this on track, and most of the presidents are out of term. Me, yeah, I know I'm out of term, and you could come and do the elections, but the point is, why are you going to do elections with the legal bylaws and have the new board wait for the bylaws that are supposed to come in? Why not do it now? So that's what supposedly we are waiting for. So again, it's early voting out there, y'all. I hope y'all take into consideration who you voting into office. November 2nd is the official day to hit those ballot boxes, in-person voting. You need to get out there, cast your vote, cast your vote, cast your vote. That's all I can say, and I can't say it any louder than what I'm saying it, because unless we hit these ballot boxes, and it also brings me to the gerrymandering and the redlining that's happening along. Remember, the new city council that's coming in, it's a bunch of redistricting going on. It's because of all that gerrymandering and those re-scripting of the lines and combining voting districts. That's what they did. They combined voting districts. That's how come we lost so many senators. We lost a lot of senator seats around the Democratic senatorial seats around the entire United States. A lot of you might say that, how does that affect us? You know what? It's not only Democrats in New York. Yes, we have to wait for that money to trickle down for our Democrats or whoever's in office to get it to where it needs to be within our communities. But we also need to be paying attention to what is happening on a grander scale when they're restricting the vote. I hope that with the future elections coming up, that we would grant those election voting rights to the immigrants that are here, to the undocumented that are here legally, because let me tell you something, they pay taxes. If you pay taxes, you should be able to vote in your local elections, because guess what? That's where your taxes go, and that's where you're directly affected, and you should have a say-so, because this is the United States of America Incorporated. Again, this is the United States of America, and everybody should have a say in how they're governed, Because if government is truly supposed to run by the people, that's something that has been excluding a whole demographic that has been supporting our system. So we need to look into that too. I'm gonna also, I want to talk about, we have not only elections going on, but it's a lot of death from gun violence. It's a lot of death from activities going on in our developments, and we need to address that. However we can get the resources to our developments, we need to do so. However we can get the resources into our developments, we need to do so. And why we need to do so? We need to do so because nobody's coming to help us. No one is coming to help us. We have to figure this out. Otherwise, whoever comes in and start making the movements that they think would benefit the community, you're not going to like it. And now is the time for you to get there and start making the plan and figuring out what it is, what it's going to take your community to out of the poverty, what it's going to take your community out of the violence, what it's going to take your community to prosperity, equitable growth. It starts with us, every single one of us. Every little step counts. Everybody is a part of this. We are all part of our communities, and we are all suffering. We are all having some form of PTSD. Just being a NYCHA resident is a lot, y'all. It's a lot. It is a lot just living a day-to-day basis. Not to mention just being on a functioning board. It is so much that we are dealing with, and it's not even about pay, but it's just about humanity. It's about wanting right to be right, things to be right for your community, things to be in your community that are lasting, things that can be in your community that you can actually say, well, you know what? This is what happens in my community, and we don't highlight that enough. We need to start uplifting each other. And when I say uplifting each other, I mean just greeting each other. Bring the tone in your voice down and how you speak to each other. Because we are all going through this. Right now, I could tell you, it is so many jobs that has been stripped from NYCHA residents because we are sitting here trying to fight this RAD, trying to fight PAC, trying to figure out the plan of what resident management looks like, because that's what they're trying to put in the new memorandum of agreement. Now, for those of you who don't know what the memorandum, excuse me, y'all, and I hate that, but the memorandum of agreement, one of the reasons why that has to be written is that it's a written agreement between the residents, much less say the resident councils and NYCHA. So that's why that is so important. That is very, very, very important. Why is it so important? Because that sets the standard of how they deal with us on a management level. Because right now, as it stands, we have managers who don't interact with their residents. Some of them don't even walk their grounds. Most of them, should be doing these things. They don't communicate with the resident councils. It's a tug of war just to get information. You're turned over to the assistant or somebody else. You're always turned over, and you're always getting secondhand information instead of getting the information directly as it should, or you're getting the information late. You understand? So it's a constant fight, and it's a constant struggle just to be a NYCHA resident. Because on top of that, you have to raise your family, you have to provide for yourself as well as your loved ones, and you have to live within the conditions in which it is. But I need y'all to understand that this is the cycle in which they have provided for us. We need to think outside of this cycle. What does it look like? What does, I want to thank Dr. Jesse Fields because over the last 4 weeks, I participated in Performing the World, which was a online, basically where organizers from all across the country, and they do different things and they fight against all different kinds of injustices that are being done to them. But I must say one of the truest moments that I had when I participated by participating in this, and it's called Performing the World, y'all, and it gave me a perspective on a worldly level, not just a NYCHA level, not just a New York level, but a worldly level, because if they were youth, the youth were the last group to go, which just happened last Saturday, and basically they sat like in a circle and they asked each other's questions because these kids, they were so, encouraging, because no matter what they were going through, because they were from Nigeria, they were from South Africa, they were from London, and I think another little girl was from Taiwan. And basically, one of the questions, it was a couple of more, but the Nigerian girl, when she answered the question where it was asked to them, what does poor mean in your country? Now, mind you, this little girl was talking about all the things that she was doing in her community. And when she said Nigeria, you really, as an American, you can't picture that in your head, because most of the times you get most of those, well, I know I do, Feed the Hungry commercials that they have for you to send money and stuff like that. And then you have other very vibrant and, prosperous areas in Africa. So you can see that, and you could go from one extreme to the other side. Really, couldn't grasp where this little girl was going with it. But when she said there was no water, not that there was no hot water, not that there was waiting for somebody to fix it was no water within miles. That really touched me. And I said to myself, and I'm gonna stick true to it. I think every child should interact with another child from another country, whether it be via Zoom, computer, I think everyone should hear a story, because we as Americans, we take a lot for granted. We really do. And they really do make us suffer for the little that we do take for granted. If y'all get what I'm saying, if y'all really understand what I'm getting at. So yes, we need to really understand, like on a worldly level, how we can affect change. And I just want to thank that little girl for telling her story, and all of them for giving, insight to what goes on around the world. But yeah, that was really touching. That was like one of my highlights. I'm still thinking about that, and I still want to go back and go through all the other classes, because you had the Asian community where they were fighting injustices around the gay rights, and basically what it was letting me know is that even though you might have different goals, as long as you have one accord, if you have one cause, a person can have one cause and multiple goals in how you reach that cause, or how you promote that cause, or how you push that cause forward. So, we have a lot to think about. We have a lot to think about, because we were promised this money in this budget. They're still fighting. They haven't said anything about it, but I know it's been cut. You know, um, our homes are still being sold from us right under our noses. One of the things I put together the other day is that you have to remember around NYCHA communities, there's homeowners. Those homeowners are also in jeopardy of losing their communities once the NYCHA community is sold. So they also have something in this fight with us, because if they take us over, there's nothing to squeeze them out. Once they take us over and our rents go up to the market rate, or above what it is now, unaffordable, point blank and simple, they're going to squeeze them out, because guess what? Property value just went up. They can't afford to pay the taxes on their properties. And that's how they're taking over these properties that are out here as well. So these homeowners, they're just as scared as us about losing their homes. So that's a connection right there that we need to elaborate more on, because we always talk about NYCHA, and rightfully so, especially in communities like mine where we have 27 developments on the riverbanks along each side. You understand what I'm saying? That's the most coagulant, one of the most, because Brownsville is another one. You have multiple towers out there. Now they building around there. You understand? Now they want to build high rises. Before it was the Nehemiah homes and the other homes, that were out there. So building has always been a part of the change. But this time we have to make sure that it's being built for us. And that's why we're in this fight. And for all of you who are out there listening, all of you who are out there, I just want to let y'all know that, yeah, it's a tiresome fight. It's a very tiresome fight. But don't be afraid to say when you need to take a break. Don't be afraid to step away. Because guess what? This fight is one for a long haul. This is no short victory here. This is no short essay answer. This is going to take us coming up. And like I said, I'm in a lot of group conversations. I'm in a lot of conversations with people all around the different scopes of NYCHA, activists, cultivists. You understand what I mean? But we have to really put what we want and what we're doing in writing. Once you put it in writing, then you can present it. You have to have it in black and white. Otherwise, it's just exactly what I'm doing here on this air. It's just air. You understand? Hopefully, except with this, y'all know that y'all could come and y'all could rewind it back and hear it out and stuff like that. I hope y'all do. But in the long run, this fight that we have on our hands is a long fight. You got to be in it for the long haul. Because this, believe you me, it hasn't had any victories yet. But we going to keep on pushing. We going to keep on saying no to the blueprint. We going to keep on saying no to RAD. We going to keep saying no to infill. And I got something to say about that infill. I really, really find that y'all constantly disrespect us, because on my property loan, it's two infills. Well, one was there before the development was created before NYCHA, so technically it's not infill. But they leased those lands for $1. NYCHA says it's the city. Okay, NYCHA is a city entity. They keep playing these games, and we keep getting the short end of the stick. And when I said it before, people was saying that I didn't know what I was talking about. They were leasing land, NYCHA land, for $1. Un peso. Uno. $1. And they got multi-million-dollar buildings on our properties, and we still live in the way we live in. So we got to come up with that plan. We got to write that plan. We got to figure out that plan and what it looks like. So my question to you guys is, if you don't want resident management, what does the future of NYCHA look like to you? How do you feel it should be run? Everybody says they want Section 9. I agree with you. But do you know what Section 9 entails? Do you guys know what they have not been adhering to? Or are you just saying Section 9 because everybody else is saying save Section 9? This is what I'm talking about when I say need to put it in black and white. Because once you can read it, you can visualize it. Once you visualize it, you can make it happen. Because everybody is entitled to a dream. I'm no dream killer. But if you do not have a plan as to how to move forward, they will continue to disrespect us and have us living in the conditions in which we live, and they will just be herding us to different facilities. Because that's what is in store for us as minorities, us as lower income people, poor people, and very low income people. It is no reason why we have persons, I'm going to stop saying people. It's no reason why we have persons as educated, as dedicated, and as able as we do, and we're not running our own developments. Under Section 9, that's what NYCHA was meant to be. So do you really understand what it means to be run by Section 9? No, the government wasn't supposed to be supporting NYCHA forever. If they lived by the true plan of Section 9, we would have already had resident management. We would have already had our own ownership to our stores and our developments and our communities. So I implore you guys, if you're going to fight for something, know what you're fighting for. Do your research. Don't wait for somebody to come and tell you what it is, because guess what? You don't know if that information that they're giving you is the right information. And it might be the right information that they're giving you, but it's so much deeper than what a person can give you. So you need to go out there and research that information. Read your lease. Now they're coming with that amendment again. I don't know if you guys got it, where they're calling you back into your office because now they're going to enforce this smoke-free enforcement. And I keep saying to them, how are you going to enforce smoke-free if you are not giving people the medical attention that is needed for a smoker to stop smoking? Most of the people that are going to be targeted are the seniors. How are they going to do this system? If I remember correctly, like they said before, it was the somebody calls and says that that you're smoking. So that means it's a tattle system. So it has to be a better system than just a tattle system. But you have to come with the resources, and you have to come multiple times with the resources. Because I believe everybody should. You understand, at some point in time, everybody should stop the smoking of the cigarettes. You understand? Because it is the #1 killer of people developing cancer, So like I said, we put all kinds of things in our bodies, but yeah, I mean, cigarettes has been around a long time, but if you're going to take this on, take it on seriously. Y'all been pushing this for a very long time. You've been pushing it for a very, very long time. And residents, I understand some residents, they don't need to be around the smoke. It exasperates some of the ailments that they already have. And, people should respect that. But again, you cannot expect, you got to look at both sides of the scope. And that's what I'm tending to do here is that, for someone who's smoking a long time, they're not going to stop cold turkey. Even though they sign it on their lease, let's be real. You want to put somebody out of their house for smoking? Yeah, you might find a real a-hole that does that. But I don't see that should be leading a person to homelessness. That's another way for them to push you out. You understand what I'm saying? We have to start writing down and really figuring stuff out, because we'll be just like the people that say have us in this situation. So when you go to your elected officials, have that plan. When you go to speak to others about this, have that plan. Share that plan. One of the biggest things on how movements are made is if someone believes in your plan, someone believes in you, someone believes in your idea, someone believes it can be a reality. Look at that. That was for someone's plus yourself. That's 5 people. Look, and that can grow. But I'm going to be out, y'all, because y'all know I did start a little late today. I hope I didn't bore you too much. Listen, y'all better get out there and vote. I want to tell y'all, I'm going to give a shout out because I didn't even go into like what happened in my community fridge, where my refrigerator, somebody pulled the cord. They cut the cord of the refrigerator itself so it can no longer be plugged in. I just want to say that was real disgusting, and we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it, and we're going to still feed the community, and we're going to still do the things that we're doing. And that's what I had to tell people. But I want to thank y'all for tuning in today. And that's enough with my rants, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed. I want to thank y'all again for tuning in. Y'all know to tune in next week. I am Claudia CC Perez, and this is Mi Gente, my people. And I'll see y'all next Saturday, 4 p.m. Y'all know where it's at. Let's see how better I do. I'm going to take y'all out with some music, y'all.